Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new to See Mindy Mom, I'm glad that you found me. I'm in the mom van. I am right outside of Walmart. I just went in and did a quick shop, and we are going to do a good old-fashioned $5 dinner video, so stay tuned. I feel like, at least in my niche, the kinds of channels that are similar to mine and that I watch, the $5 dinner video was sort of like this quintessential thing that we all did, maybe at different stores, maybe different kinds of meals that we were putting together, but trying to come up with a dinner, a meal, spending just $5 has been something that's been around for a while. And it's easier the more meals we're making. So like doing 5 dinners for $25 or 4 dinners for $20, where you can use multiple ingredients across multiple dishes. That's one thing. But I've also done a few videos where it's just a standalone $5 dinner. Like, hey, I don't have anything planned. I can stop at the store. I just have a $5 bill in my hand. I don't want to go through the drive-thru. I don't want to get out my debit card and pick up takeout at the local restaurant. What can I possibly throw together that my family will like and that will fill our tummies for just $5? And with grocery prices on the rise, I kind of wondered, is this type of video dead? Are we going to be able to continue doing this? So I wanted to prove to myself that we can still do it. And I realized that prices can be regional and vary from place to place, but still, hopefully this gives an idea. So let me take you into Walmart. I got a little bit of B-roll. I'll kind of take you through my thought process as I'm putting these sorts of things together, and we'll see what we can come up with. I've got an idea. We'll see what happens.
Whenever I do these types of challenges, I usually start out by checking the meat section to see if there are any good deals or anything that catches my eye that would be inexpensive to incorporate into my meal. Typically, when I'm doing a challenge like this, where it's just one meal on a tight budget, it's going to be meatless because it would be really difficult to incorporate meat into just one meal on an extreme budget. But I do usually just check out the meat section, see if there's anything going on there that I can incorporate. This day, there wasn't anything that really caught my eye that was within my budget. I then move over to the vegetables because I try to incorporate vegetables into these challenges, and I look and see what is inexpensive, what is in season, what's on sale, what's on rollback, what is going to be the best bang for my buck. These green beans look pretty good at $1.48 a pound, but that would still be about a third of my overall dinner budget. So I'm kind of eyeing these carrots over here that are still 84 cents a pound. Carrots are usually pretty inexpensive year round. Checking out some of the other produce deals, you've got avocados, tomatoes are usually inexpensive, potatoes, of course, both sweet and russet potatoes, golden potatoes. A lot of times, especially when I can purchase those by the pound and just buy 1 or 2 to incorporate, those are an option as well. Of course, pasta, that go-to inexpensive starch that can really stretch a meal a long way. I'm checking out the pasta, and I wanted to point out, as usual, that usually the store brand or the generic brand pasta is going to be the best value. But take a look at the size of the packages, because I sometimes find that some of the packages are a full pound and some of the packages are only 12 ounces. You notice that the bow ties here are the same price as the other pastas, but you only get 12 ounces instead of a full pound for that 82 cents. If you've watched these videos before, you know that when I'm doing these extreme budget challenges, sometimes I like to start with something that is pre-seasoned or use a pre-seasoned item so that I don't have to worry about what's in stock in the spice cabinet. The first thing that caught my eye is the fact that cream cheese is rolled back to $1 at my Walmart. So I was like, that could be a way to incorporate something rich and flavorful for the dish without having to buy a block of expensive cheese. I head on over to the beans, and I'm thinking about picking up those seasoned black beans, but then I decided instead that I'm going to go with some of these mixed chili beans because, again, they're already seasoned and it just has several different kinds of beans. I'm starting to get an idea for what I want to do here.
Here's what I ended up with from Walmart. I have the cream cheese that was on rollback for just $1. I have 1 big can of petite diced tomatoes. This is the 28-ounce can. I have my mixed chili beans. I have 1 pound of pasta. I opted for the ziti. And I picked up this Knorr Fideo. And this is what I'm going to use to season this dish. You'll see how I'm doing that in a minute. And then, as a vegetable side, I went ahead and picked up my 1 pound of carrots that I'm probably just going to roast. I have my receipt here, and before tax, I spent $4.83, and after tax, I spent $5.24 because we have tax on food here in Oklahoma, so not too shabby. Let me show you what I'm gonna make with all this.
This is the first time that I am trying cooking pasta in the oven, like that I'm not cooking the pasta ahead of time. You absolutely could, but I just wanted to try this out and see if it worked as like a dump and bake type dish. And it reminds me a little bit of the TikTok feta pasta. Of course, you cook the pasta separately for that dish, but with the cream cheese in the middle of the pan, and then you just layer everything around it. So I put my block of cream cheese there in the middle of the 9x13 pan, and then I layered my pasta, my beans, my tomatoes, and then I'm going to whisk in the soup mix to 4 cups of water and pour that over the top. And I will say that this 9x13 casserole dish was very full. I needed every single inch of this dish. I could not have used anything smaller, but it turned out just fine. It didn't leak or anything like that, and it didn't spill over the edge or bubble over the edge while it was cooking. I covered that in foil, and then I popped it into a 400-degree oven to bake, and it took mine about 40 minutes or so, and it actually turned out really, really great. While my casserole was in the oven, I prepped my carrots. I peeled them and chopped them. I put them onto a foil-lined sheet, and I just took the easy road. I just tossed them with a little oil, salt, and pepper, and I actually popped those into the oven with about 20 minutes left for the casserole to cook. I put them in the same oven with the casserole. I just popped them into the oven underneath it, and they roasted for about 20 minutes, the last 20 minutes that the casserole was cooking, and they turned out great.
You guys have heard me joke about the protein police on my channel before. I think a lot of people think that if you're not using a ton of meat or dairy that you can't have protein in your dishes. And I do have dairy in this one because I'm using the cream cheese, but it's not the richest source of protein. And believe it or not, neither are the beans. The pasta actually has 7 grams of protein per serving. And when you add up the protein across this entire dish, including the little bit that's in the tomatoes and the soup mix, there's, I think, 112 grams of protein in the entire casserole. So if you make it serve 6, you're getting almost 20 grams of protein per serving. And even if you stretch it just a little bit further and you make it serve 8, you're still looking at about 15 grams of protein per serving just for the casserole. So I think that's not too bad for a budget meal, especially one that doesn't use any meat.
Once my casserole was done cooking, I just stirred it to incorporate all of the ingredients and try to make sure that everything is distributed evenly. And this turned out just fine. It's not the best, most amazing gourmet meal I'm ever going to eat, but that's not the intention with these types of dinners. It's just to find something easy, inexpensive, that will fill the belly, that everybody will enjoy, and that has, some nutrition to it.
Okay, you guys, here it is. And I have to say, I have already tasted it, and it turned out so much better than even I thought it would. That cream cheese just gives it this like really creamy, rich texture and rich flavor. And I was skeptical about cooking pasta in the oven, but it worked out perfectly. It took mine about 40 minutes, and this is really flavorful. And the beans and the pasta themselves have quite a lot of protein, a lot more than people think. This made a whole bunch. I mean, this would probably feed 6 to 8 people, a pretty decent sized portion. We're gonna have plenty left over. I might even pop some into individual containers to put in the freezer so we can have it for lunches. But this turned out really, really good. Plus, I was still able to get a side of veggies, just some plain old roasted carrots with salt and pepper. This turned out great. I hope this video gave you some ideas or a jumping off point for an inexpensive meal if you need one to get you by or get through your week. But I also hope that it gives a little bit of hope and encouragement. I've stated before that I'm trying to be a calm, non-anxious presence during this time. I am seeing and sensing a lot of concern and worry or even panic about rising grocery prices. Even though I know that prices will vary from place to place, I still think that it's possible to put together inexpensive meals that have some nutritional value, that meet our needs, and that can, fill our tummies during this time. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll be sure to check in again with another video very soon.